You could probably already tell by the mood that I am setting up here and whatnot, sort of have you. So, a new episode of The Mandalorian has been released, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. After, one kind of know one thing that I have mastered as time has gone by. This goes even for life. You know how you have the most traumatic and most painful experience you've ever had in your life, and it kind of sits with you like the next sort of day? Well, as time has gone on, I've experienced those things, and I have learned to really kind of to to kind of learn and to learn while also not let it affect me and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of how it was with this episode. I watched it, and I kind of just didn't think about it the next day. Up until I had to review the episode. But yes, Mando season 3, episode 6 probably has to be the worst episode of the Mandalorian series so far up to this point. I have no words to describe it. I mean, I could be sitting here just raging about the episode. We'll get to some of the stupid parts of this episode, but let's just kind of go down. Let's just go ahead and let's just give you the rundown. So this episode is titled Guns for Hire, chapter number 22. I'm not even going to talk about the beginning of the episode because it has nothing to do really with the opening part. Yeah, Corlin and Amon Kala got separated from Axe Wolves and Kasaka Reeves, aka Sasha Banks. That's pretty much all what happened. And however, the one thing though I was sort of expecting going into this episode was, we have Kasaka Reeves and Axe Wolves back here again. Now, if you don't know who those two characters are, those were the two characters that were flanking Bo-Katan in season 2 of The Mandalorian. The Harris, or something like that. That was basically her debut in the series. Her live action, debut and all that sort of stuff. And these were the two Mandalorians that were flanking along aside her and all that sort of stuff. And as explained before by Bo-Katan, Kasaka Reeves and Axe Wolves splintered off from her and are now basically mercenaries for hire and all that sort of stuff, fulfilling the Mandalorian gig of being a warrior to then just go into just some person who is paid to kill shit and all that sort of stuff, bounty hunting and all that sort of stuff. Now, in the last episode, Bo-Katan had agreed that she must unite all Mandalorian groups, and from what it looks like, this was going to be an episode of her trying to recruit Axe Wolves and Kasaka Reeves back to her. But then, this whole episode, the main story of this episode just feels like a side story. It basically is a side story. Fucking no. Basically, that whole main part of the episode that might have seemed interesting, no. We don't even get anything about that plot line until the last at least the last few minutes of the episode. No, instead what this whole entire plot of the episode is about is basically Mando and Bo-Katan end up in some weird ass planet, which I gotta kind of say this, aesthetically looking at the planet, like especially from the outside, which looks like it's in a dome, it really does remind me of Zundari, and I was kind of hoping going in that this would kind of be some sort of like planet in the Mandalorian sector. Would have been cool if that would have been what this is, but no, it's just some generic planet that's run by. And then this is really where the episode just falls flat for me. I knew from this point, I was like, oh no, this is going to be bad. And that was Jack Black and Lizzo appear in this episode. And their only purpose is to be comedic characters and to play with Baby Yoda, Grogu. What is this? Here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. There's a reason why there's not many celebrities in Star Wars. You want to know why? The reason is because Star Wars, and this is something that has been done even before, basically, during, the original trilogy, and even the prequel trilogy, and even the sequel trilogy. George Lucas got relatively unknown actors to play these characters. I mean, shit, hell, you can only think of Luke Skywalker, Han, Leia as Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, in the prequels too, Hayden Christensen, Anakin, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, which, I mean, to be fair, over time, Natalie Portman has gained more success or has gone more fame, but at that time, she was relatively unknown. And the same thing even goes for the Disney trilogy as well. Or whatnot, sort of have you. And to have Jack Black and Lizzo, of all people, just show up in this episode, why? I just don't understand it. And you kind of know one of the funny thing is that Jack Black, I can actually kind of see him in Star Wars, but only as a voice. Like for example, hell, I would kind of see Jack Black voicing a fat alien dude, and all that sort of stuff. Kind of like Dex, like the diner dude, the species of Pon Krell. Kind of something like that. I can see Jack Black's voice in Star Wars, but just not him. And so, I don't know, it's just so dumb. And I don't even want to talk about the rest of these couple of minutes. But to kind of make it a long story short, and I'm going to try to make a long story short. So basically, what happens here is that these two royal higher-ups, Jack Black and Lizzo, hire or basically says, oh yeah, before you go meet those Mando guys, you got to do some stuff for us. You got to figure out what's been going on with our droids. We've been having a droid problem. A lot of our droids have been malfunctioning. And then that's basically when they then go to Christopher Lloyd. Now, Christopher Lloyd I can actually see in Star Wars. However, though, they wasted him in this freaking episode. So basically, Christopher Lloyd, and I don't know the characters' names, I'm not even going to bother to learn the characters' names, but I'm just calling them by their actors to make it easier. So Christopher Lloyd basically tells them, oh yeah, we've been having some droid problems and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So both Mando and So both Mando and Bo, Din and Bo go off and investigate, and they notice, and basically, what I mean by the droid problems, basically this royalty, these royals basically have battle droids, reprogrammed battle droids from the Clone Wars era to do, their basic doing and all that sort of stuff, and whatnot sort of have you. However, though, they've been resulting back to their original programming and all that sort of stuff. And so, basically what happens here, and this is the most unintentional funny thing. So, they're trying to talk to this B-1 battle droid who's voiced by Matthew Wood, who, of course, did General Grievous's voice in Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars. Basically, what happens here is that the B-1 says, oh, yeah, everything's under control. That's my best battle droid voice, by the way. This is my best battle droid voice. Roger, roger. But anyways, which doesn't sound too different from my actual voice. So what actually happens here is that Mando tries to basically piss off one of the super battle droids, and then one of them just sucker punches him across the head, and it was just so fucking funny. And then another weird thing too that also kind of bothers me too is that this super battle droid that they're chasing is so agile that just makes me wonder. The B2 battle droids were not that freaking agile. Far from it. I mean, hell, if they were like that during the Clone Wars, the clones could have been screwed. Now, if it was like a commando droid, that would have made sense. I mean, we haven't seen them in live action, so why not? But anyways, they basically, are able to shoot the super battle droid. And actually, even before that, they basically visit some Ugnaughts, and then basically Mando basically has to say the line from Queel from like season 1 as "I have spoken" and all that sort of stuff, which the Ugnaughts have no play any factor into this plot. Which, yeah, they only brought them there just so Mando can say, "I've spoken." But anyways, so they take them to, okay, so basically now they then figure out that there's like this chip or this little like kind of like a little microchip in them that basically revolts them back to a droid bar. They then go to a droid bar and they then get some information out of the droid bartender, basically saying, "Oh yeah, these were programmed in all side of us, and only one person can program them," and all that sort of stuff, which then gets later eventually explained to like a droid doctor and all that sort of stuff. And then what happens in there, like an interrogation droid, like the one that was trying to put the truth serum into Leia in A New Hope, and also Dr. Ball MD, if you know what I'm talking about. I would, if any of you know what I'm talking about, Dr. Ball MD, I'm gonna pin your comment. Probably no one's gonna get that. But anyhow, basically what happens here is that Mando and Bo trace it all back to Christopher Lloyd's character. And Christopher Lloyd's character turns out to be an ex-separatist. And is saying that, oh yeah, the CIS are gonna reign supreme and all that sort of stuff. I can't do the Christopher Lloyd voice. It's kind of hard to do. And then what basically happens is Bo tases him, and then he sends us off to prison, and then they finally get to the Mandalorians. What happens here is that basically Bo, of course, well, she's once again trying to recruit these guys back, trying to get these guys back to her side and all that sort of stuff, but they're not going to go with her because she doesn't have the Darksaber. And hell, she even challenges Alex Wolves to a fight and all that sort of stuff, and all that sort of stuff. And then I have a fight, which was kind of cool, but basically the only thing that they're doing is just taking their jetpacks, flying towards each other, and trying to tackle one another. That's just lazy. Lazy fighting. I mean, god damn it, at least, I don't know. And I'm not saying I'm not saying here that all Star Wars fights should be with melee weapons or lightsabers or blasters, but at least, some one hand-to-hand combat and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. But anyways, what happens here is that Bo-Katan is able to defeat Axe Wolves, and then basically, proposes that, hey, all of us Mandalorians need to unite against one another and all that sort of stuff. But they aren't going to align with her because, well, she don't got the Darksaber. What does she have to say? And then, I think maybe, this is even the dumbest part of the episode here too, and that is, basically Mando gives Bo-Katan the Darksaber, and she actually accepts it. And, now here's the thing. I don't mind Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber. I don't mind that at all. Hell, if you honestly really ask me, that was probably what they were leading to, Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber. But no. What instead happens here is that, remember how in the second episode, The Mines of Mandalore, where basically Mando is captured by that spider droid, who technically kind of defeated him in combat and is able to attain the Darksaber, and then Bo then fights off that spider droid, and then has the Darksaber. Well, basically, Mando says, yeah, she's actually the owner of the saber, even though I could have given her the saber in a couple episodes and all that, a couple episodes back and all that sort of stuff. And then the episode ends there, and thank God. As you can tell, I did not really want to talk about this episode at all. It was really bad. It was just not good. Not good at all. And you really kind of want to know what really is just the frustrating thing is that this episode honestly could have been a banger. It could have been a really cool episode. They had Bryce Dallas Howard, who I'm a big fan of, and who honestly really should helm a Star Wars project. And I've been hearing rumors about a Darth Vader show, so if she's not making that show, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem, Disney, you fucklords. But anyhow, anyway, just this episode, I don't know. And here's kind of the thing is that I've been seeing online about how a lot of people, man, it is really interesting how people turn on people just so easily. Like how people are pretty much saying John and Dave Filoni should be removed from making Star Wars projects, curse them and all that sort of stuff. These are probably the same people that probably said that about George Lucas, and they want Big Daddy Lucas back and all that sort of stuff. Which, to my, I'll be honest, it's just immature. And the thing of the matter is, bitch, do you even know why this episode was the way it was? Do I really? Now, here's kind of the thing, and that is, I do not think 1 second that Jon Favreau would even really put Lizzo and Jack Black to this. It probably has to be a Disney thing. I have to assume that. I mean, Disney has already screwed this season over, and I'm not saying that just to create clout or just to be a Disney Star Wars hater. I don't hate Disney Star Wars. It's about as flawed as Disney are as flawed as George Lucas was when he was creating it. But the only difference was that George Lucas actually kind of cared about storytelling, even if it wasn't good. But the point of the matter is, it's just that I don't know what was the writing process. What was the mindset going into this episode? What was John going into this episode really thinking? And kind of the fact of the matter is, they should have known that, oh shit, I mean, we got Bryce Dallas Howard, and we're going to give her like the worst episode ever? God damn it. You should have hired your boy, Robert Rodriguez, to come back and do this. Even I think oh God, no, I don't even want to think about it. Robert Rodriguez is pretty bad at Star Wars, but anyways, I really want, okay, so honestly guys, I'm just gonna leave the episode right here and then, and well, yeah, no Bad Batch, and one thing though, here's kind of the thing is that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably maybe are thinking, what are your expectations, or what are my expectations going into the last 2 episodes? Honestly, at this point, I want it to be good. That's all I want it to be. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my rants. I think a lot of people might are going to probably have a kick out of this one, but with that being said though, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. See you all later.